My good men, the cohort of the 8th. The sky has darkened, and embers from the druidic fire pits are surrounding the area with this warm light as they share meats and drinks within themselves and kind of whisper. Still in a defensive yet also protective sort of state of being towards your group. You're also speaking amongst yourselves, Jin, Lucio. Mid conversation, the druids stand at attention, focus on the tree line right behind you when footsteps are heard approaching slowly but intentionally, and eventually breaching the tree line. And aided by the light of the campfire, you see a woman. These sort of wide eyes in curiosity, muted greens and grays that are kind of draped over her short, messy hair, holding a staff with a leather book satcheled around her shoulder. And she says, am I safe to approach? The leader of the druids slowly begin to walk over. What are you all doing?
Helmirk, I think, stands up and says, "Are you the commander of this encampment?"
Oh, I wouldn't say commander. No, I'm. And she kind of gestures over to the leader of the druids that kind of nods and.
All right. Helmirk nods.
But
We are-
oh no, I'm not the. I wouldn't say commander, but I have been tasked with locating you and bringing you to Master Corin. Based off the descriptions, I presume that you are the members of that group.
Helmirk looks at the rest and kind of waits for them to make a move. Looks at the cohort and waits for them to make a move.
Godfrey would nod. This is the cohort.
I'm aware that you are most certainly wanted by the Flaming Fists. You're not being hunted yet, but Baldur's Gate is no longer safe for you to walk openly in. You need to be moved inside of the city without being seen. And those logistics took time to plan, but we have a very reputable cartographer that's coming to Baldur's Gate, and he will assist in our entry. Once inside, Master Corin will decide what happens next. These are not orders. If you refuse, I will leave. I do not argue.
There will be no refusal here. How long must we wait on this photographer?
We need to go to him. The Fields of the Dead are very unforgiving as far as traversing. So it'll be somewhat of a walk.
Well then, lead the way.
Well, unless anybody has anything else to say, gather your things, leave your horses, and she looks over at the druid and goes, kind of lifts her head up and goes, consider it a donation from Master Corin Eldrin. We thank you for the reward circle for your aid and protection of the cohort. And she
You
turns,
gave away our horses?
preparing to leave.
What will become of our horses?
Yeah, are we gonna get reimbursed for that? I spent a lot of money on those horses.
That would be a decision for Master Corin to decide. As of now, I need to take you without any sort of complications. And 4 full-grown horses have been for you complications. Travel is taken care of.
I mean, I guess. I just, spent a lot of money on those horses. I kind of bonded to Helmirk.
I like driftwood.
Helmirk just nods and he goes, "If we are at war, these must be done. They would only impede us in battle. Cohort, are we prepared to move?"
Yes, let's move. Let's leave.
I believe so, yes.
All right.
I guess.
Gather your things. And she walks over to Eldrin, who you now know as Eldrin, the leader of the Druidic Circle. And you see there's a transfer of something between hands, and just a few words in between them.
All right. Sweet. I'm just prepared to leave.
Okay, everybody else good?
Good.
Yeah, Lucio
Yep.
had his stuff packed, so he is ready to go.
Okay. So with the guidance of Ashlyn, you leave the forest behind. The sky, once you leave the canopy of the forest, the sky is clear, stars kind of flickering. There's a cold wind that definitely kind of tears through. Skin kind of tightens a little bit, and the smell of salt heavy in the air. And you're walking through tall grasses, and you remember the terrain is rough, muddy, still from the rains a couple of days ago. It takes about 2 hours to get to where you're going. Then you eventually pick up sort of the sounds of horses sort of rustling, kind of with anticipation. And you see that there is a caravan, a cart with 2 horses attached to it, about 30 feet in front of you. In the rear of the wagon, there is an older man with silver hair that's kind of neatly kept, beard matching that same silver and trim, weathered skin, and he's bent at the back, sort of shuffling things around the cart with precision, being very delicate with certain things. You see that he's wearing a green lined cloak with furs, and has a series of accessories on his person. You see brass, a compass, some writing utensils, things like that, parchment, spyglass. And he looks up at your group and stands upright and sighs and turns and steps off the wagon. And Ashlyn says, a few larger than initially anticipated. And he goes, yeah, I see. It's going to be a tight fit. Why don't you come around here? And he lifts up what seems to be a false floor on the cart. This is where I keep most of my precious valuables to fend off road agents. So the deal is, if we're attacked, you're going to fight in my stead. And that'll be the payment being transferred into Baldur's Gate. Does that sound like a deal?
This is a deal.
They love
Cohort
fighting
will
shit.
protect you.
All right. Well, until that happens, what? He sort of looks at your group. Are you? And he looks at Helmirk. And then he looks at Ashlyn, who kind of just nods her head. And there's this like physical conclusion that you see kind of wash over him. And he kind of resets. And he goes, no firelight, no magic, no heroics, no talking. All right, I'm putting my reputation and maybe even my life on the line to transport what are obviously known criminals back into Baldur's Gate. And I may not know what you did or how long ago, but from the looks of you all, if money's not enough to get you back into the city, well, that's all I need to know. And he turns to Ashlyn and says, we should arrive before sunset. I will take them where previously discussed. And you see Ashlyn nod and kind of look at your group one last time. And then she sort of crouches down to her knees and then turns into a hawk and flies off.
Sweet.
Are you all okay with getting in the cart?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Before we get in the cart,
I'm not, but
Godfrey's
I
going
will.
to Godfrey's gonna stop, and he's gonna tell the cartographer, "What you do here is good. You help this world by helping me." And then he's just gonna enter.
He went to say something, but you got in the cart and he just kind of went. You all fit in. It's not just shoulder to shoulder. You're having to kind of lean up on one, shoulder blade to get somebody to kind of squeeze in. But you tuck yourselves in, and he kind of looks at you all one last time and slowly shuts and locks the false floor. And then you hear him step up back onto the cart, kind of feel that sort of, the cart react to that weight. And you hear him sort of placing things on top of the floor. And gets out of the cart, gets in the front, and you hear the rein sort of pull taut, and the horses begin moving through the field of dead back to Baldur's Gate. It's a rough travel. And again, dealing with the horses, was one thing, which was already rough. You're in a cart. It is very uneven road. You're violently swayed back and forth, kind of knocking into each other as you go. So tonight, here's what I'll say. There's going to be a little bit of a compromise. If you try to rest, which I'm assuming most of you would try to do,
Yes.
it's going to be difficult, between the sort of lurching back and forth and the wood groaning and the wheels striking stone, so hard that it kind of like rattles your teeth. Whatever sleep you're going to find is going to be shallow. Your body isn't going to be able to fully recover. So instead, you're going to get small windows of rest. So I would count this as a short rest. But you're not going to get a long rest, but we will not add exhaustion.
Okay.
So we're going to kind of do a little bit of a give and take here.
Oh yeah, I actually desperately need to heal. I forgot how fucking low I was.
What if
So if you want to
Jin-
use hit points to heal, you most certainly can do so at this time.
Oh, he said not to use magic, actually. Never mind.
If we can't use magic, so or
I was gonna say you just cast sleep on us. And
Don't worry, I got it right here. Fucking
Don't worry.
inject a horse tranquilizer.
Does not add on to the rest. Okay. Yeah. Helmirk is gonna go ahead and I guess I'll spend 5 hit die.
do you need
I believe you can
more
only do
health than
half
that,
your hit die, right?
Helmirk?
No, you regain them when you do a long rest. Sorry, mixed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. As you're doing that, everybody else good to go?
Yeah.
All right. Through the cracks of the cart, the woods sort of meeting, you see that there's a little bit of light that's coming up. That it's sometime in the very early morning, and you begin to hear a few voices, small fires crackling. You see a couple shadows moving, torches are lit, and you hear that similar voice, the cartographer, say, "Morning, Captain. Late haul, maps and ledgers for the counting house. I'd rather be inside before the rain turns the road to soup." And you hear a voice go, "You're cutting it close, Harlan." And you hear a shifting of papers handed, and there's a pause. And what you would presume to be the guard says, "Same marks as last month, same seal, same route. Have anything to declare in your cart?" "Oh, no. Mostly just camping supplies and map equipment. I like to travel light if I can. You're more than welcome to take a look through it, though." No, you're clear. Go ahead. Don't linger. And the wagon shifts hard forward and moves through what some of you might know is the Basilisk Gate. And you are now entering the inner city of Baldur's Gate. Now, you might not be able to see Baldur's Gate, but its presence is very well known. That air is thick. You immediately hit this like tallow smoke, this rot, this brine, this hot iron, something sour that sort of comes and goes out of your nose. You can hear shouting of merchants and wagon wheels against stone and distant bells, laughter from children. And the road beneath the wagon eventually smooths and becomes almost tolerable. And you feel the flow of the city. You feel the cart coming to stops and turns and adjusting through crowds. I'm curious about something, and I normally don't do this, but you are without vision. Would anybody like to roll a perception check for me?
I would.
I will also
Yeah.
like. I'd like to.
Lucio's not enjoying the situation.
I don't mind with this particular roll. I don't mind if all of you do it.
Okay, sweet.
I
This
will
is
do
not
it.
like a aiding each other. This is do you pick something up as you're traveling?
I
That
rolled
is
an
a
18.
2.
I got a 10.
Okay.
I got a
I got-
15.
A 13.
Okay. Jen, you are the only one that hears something. Because it's just you, I will leave it up to you. Would you like the group to know this, or would you like for me to message this to you privately?
So, I think it'd be fine if the party knows.
Okay.
They're all smart. They're all smart. They're all smart enough. They're all smart.
You almost lost your spot in the cohort, little man. This was a test. All
They're all
right.
smart enough
as-
to roleplay it.
You have been
As
demoted
you're-
to rebel.
As you're traveling through, it's loud. I mean, it is a city. It is a very, you're getting the sense of how just clusterfucked this city is, which is a D&D canon term. But Jen, you do pick an interesting conversation out, and you hear, "Hey, Captain Aldrin Vane is sending a troop up north to deal with that devil issue that happened a couple nights ago. I'm guessing you and I are gonna be called for this bullshit. He's fucking livid. Still don't know what got him so upset. We just found out he was covered head to toe in mud, fuming. Dude's out for blood. Somebody embarrassed him, but the devil, like here, I don't see it. And as you continue, that last bit kind of just catches your ear before it turns to just muddle. The wagon continues for a few more minutes and turns right, goes up a sloped street, and stops, coming to a rest. And the wagon shifts hard as the cartographer Harlan gets out and walks over to the back of the cart, steps up, kind of begins grabbing a few things, and kind of laying on your backs and seeing through the very narrow cracks of the wood planks together, kind of can see a silhouette of him kind of looking through things, and you get the sense maybe it's just a ploy, and he kind of under his breath goes, "Hey, stay put, don't breathe too loud. You move when you're told."
Picking myself up. Helmirk doesn't say anything. He's stay quiet.
Okay. Only a few minutes go by. He gets off the cart and goes inside some kind of building. You do hear an opening and closing of a door. And a few minutes, and then you hear that door open again. Somebody gets in front of the cart. And the cart begins to move. And the cart goes right, and takes another sharp right, kind of sloping down this road, and then levels off and comes to a short stop. And they get off the wagon, and you hear the kind of squeaking of iron and wood, a gate shutting behind you. And the items are moved, and the false floor is lifted up. The morning sun kind of hits your eyes, and your eyes have to adjust a little bit. And you see standing in front of you Harlan, and you also see another man. Kind of a similar appearance with Harlan as far as the hair and the well-kept beard, but hair's a little bit shorter. It's a little bit more gray, streaks through it. It's combed back tight, wearing a clearly kind of expensive royal blue and leather brown cloak. Very clean, proper, and kind of looks at you and kind of without saying a word gestures to kind of remain quiet and follow him.
So they're letting us out.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Helmirk gets out, kind of like rolls his shoulders back.
Okay. As you begin to slowly step out, you see you are parked in the backside of a 6-story tower or so that's constructed of weathered red brick, and kind of purposely designed vines that kind of sling and scale the sides, wrapping around this like dark twisted iron. It makes up these railings that protect the windows, and you see that gate that was closed behind you. That's similar kind of iron and vine sort of combination, that blocks your path from potential wandering eyes. And as you kind of make your way in, the inside of this tower is very luscious, to say the least, with all kinds of expensive decorations and marble statues and plants that sort of bring life and warmth to the interior. And it's stacked with items, but it's all clean and placed with purpose underneath, you know, polished marbles and glass and all these exotic gems and things like that. And there's a staircase, and behind the staircase, or sorry, underneath the staircase, you see that the well-kept man sort of presses in the wall and slides what seems to be a false partition, revealing a narrow staircase leading underneath the tower. He does not go in.
Helmirk. Oh, okay. Helmirk, a little wary, is going to walk in.
Okay.
Godfrey's like right behind him.
Yeah.
Bravo's
figure
like
out-
holding
and-
onto him from behind, so close.
I'm just gonna casually kind of push Lucio in.
Okay.
I would have gone in.
Jin, as you're the last one, right behind you, the man kind of curls in right behind you, slides that door back in, and shuts it. You continue down this sort of curved stairwell that goes into some kind of cellar. Now, for those of you who do not have any kind of ability to see in the dark, it is total darkness.
Double sight.
You can feel the man sort of make his way kind of past you in between the wall and your group, and makes his way over, for those of you who can clearly see, makes his way over to a far wall, grabs a small box off of a shelf that clearly he's memorized where the location of it is, and sort of slides it open, pulls out what seems to be a matchstick, strikes it, and that blast of flame and that sulfur immediately kind of comes out. And as the light from the matchstick kind of settles, you see that there's all this equipment and books and all. It's a very clustered sort of basement. And he grabs a lantern, sets it down on a table, sort of removes the glass globe, lights the mantles, sets the globe back down, on the lantern collar, and sets it back up on the shelf, and the light fills the space. And you hear, before anyone says anything clever or heroic, there's a voice behind you. You immediately turn and you see an elderly woman in her, I would say, mid-50s. She's wearing deep purple and gold robes and has several sigils as necklaces around. And there's one pinned to her chest, a larger one. One of the necklaces is a crescent moon clutching onto a harp. Another is that it's a right hand that's flat and vertical with a 7-pointed star in the center. The last one is a 5-pointed crown, and the sort of crescent that's pinned on her breast is it has like this dual blue blade that's facing downward, with almost like an opal in the center of it that kind of resembles almost like a blue planet that's kind of surrounded by this like very thin intricate gold. And she continues, understand this: the only reason that you stand here is my great respect for Strix, which, while I do not question, I am puzzled at what your purpose that he could possibly have for you. Your presence in such a short amount of time has been an absolute shame and an embarrassment to his trust in you, and at worst, a full danger to him. What exactly do you have to say for yourselves?
I would just like to say, first off, we really appreciate the hospitality. This is a really lovely place you have here, and we just appreciate the kindness that you're gifting us right now. And yeah, that whole, I assume you're talking about the situation at Obius, or are you talking about what happened here? There were kind of two major situations we were a part of.
Clearly, I'm talking about at the Friendly End Arm and Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, no, that was
You have
outside our
absolutely
control.
put yourself
That
on the map.
was
You understand that, right? You understand the implications of your actions. That you made it difficult for me to do my job. In any case, Cohort of the Eighth, you are standing in a licensed teleportation annex beneath the upper city. And she sort of makes her way to the other side of the large wooden table in the center of the room. And the man that followed you down sort of rests his back against the stone wall and kind of stands kind of as an observer. And as you look around, there's piles of scrolls and parchments and books and arcane equipment and maps lined with, on slanted shelves. And you can see on the floor to the side wall a semi-permanent chalk teleportation circle. And she goes, this place exists because the city needs it to exist. It remains open because people like me make sure that nothing interesting happens here. And you all are very interesting. So, let us begin proper. I am Master Corin. I am part of the Quiet Concord. I facilitate sanctioned long-distance transit for diplomats and scholars and individuals whose names or appearances would cause problems if seen or spoken. Strix sent you.
Yes, we
Is
are
that a question?
Cohort of the Eighth. We are under student.
Okay. So you don't deny it. I would say moving forward, know who you're giving that information out to. He doesn't usually send contacts into my care lightly, which tells me 3 things. 1, you need to ensure that you are never followed. It was way too easy for me to follow you. You are loud and careless and spontaneous, and clearly not aware of how much your group sticks out. Do better. And 2, whatever you're chasing is most important enough that you are safer here than his usual methods. And 3rd, someone or something very powerful knows that you exist. And she turns her full attention to Helmirk. You. You are the reason that this conversation must be taken in private. I don't care what you've done or haven't. I care what you are. Baldur's Gate does not allow devils within its upper city. It tolerates them elsewhere under very specific circumstances. A circumstance I or Strix do not give often. As of now, you are wanted, dead by the Order of the Flaming Fist. I'm sure we can correct this matter with some political favors, but for now, it would be wise to steer clear of Baldur's Gate and assist us so it may seem worth our time to rub hands in your favor. I cannot be more clear about that.
Nods. And I was not aware the mortal being is touchy about dungeon. I was unaware that devils spoken of in Baldur.
Well, whatever your history, clearly you're ignorant of ours. Would do you good to learn. Now, for the rest of you, here's what I can offer. And most importantly, here's what I cannot. I can move you between cities faster than roads ever will. Waterdeep, Neverwinter, Luskan, Daggerford, Baldur's Gate, and Obius. I can do this discreetly, safely, with wards that prevent casual scrying. I will not teleport you directly to holy sites, the hells, active war zones without preparation. I will not anchor infernal signatures inside the city. I will not ask why Strix trusts you. You are standing at the beginning of something unpleasant. I can smell it on you. I've been instructed to limit what exactly I divulge to you, that would be handled by other people. But there are very strange things that I'm noticing that is my job. Place is cleaned too thoroughly, people removed without mess, magic used with intent, not desperation. I myself have limited information on your next moves. I am permitted to tell you, again, little on what I know until we fully understand if we can trust you. Or if we can, if you're not a massive liability. In only a few days, you've restricted your influence over Baldur's Gate, and I suggest you do your best to try not to do that with other cities.
Helmer nods.
Godfrey,
I was-
at this point, I don't know. You guys might have been able to tell that he's been trying to restrain himself and hold himself to the decorum of a knight, but now the patience has kind of faded away in his face, and you guys can see like this almost unhinged or annoyed, childish face, especially after he hears her say that she will not teleport us directly into an active war zone. And so he kind of steps forward and he says, "Excuse me for my interruption, but why are we here? This is of great importance. There's something that I need to address, and to be berated is not the intention."
You're not being berated. You're being guided. You're being corrected. The results of your actions are probably not what you're trying to achieve. If it is so important to you. I, myself, don't exactly know your group's purpose. That is not for me to decide, nor to tell you. That is for Strix, as requested by him. I was told to send you to Waterdeep. Baldur's Gate no longer being an option for us at this moment. You're being talked about and documented and looked for. Helmirk, I would highly suggest that you find a better way to blend in. Godfrey, you too, dear. It's not safe. You're dealing with deep histories and even bigger fears. And in Waterdeep, you'll meet a man named Voss. And that'll be your contact in Waterdeep. Strix has told me he will meet you there. He has the information that you need. He will deliver it in person.
I would just like to say that people talking about me is a good thing in my book. That's part of the objective, so win for
You are
square.
the least important member of this group, and I don't think that hurts you.
Hey, I'm
No, that
God.
does hurt a little bit, I'm gonna be honest.
Animals,
that's-
baby, what a fighter. Don't you ever.
Fucking just kick him in the balls.
Like,
Goddamn.
Fuck, dude.
Lucio's cloak gets a little darker. A little
You
more
hear
blue.
a sort of a from the back of the room, the man sort of resting against the wall, and she looks over at him, and you see a reset in her face, and she goes, anyways. And there's just an awkward moment, and then she turns away and moves with almost like a practiced efficiency and sort of pulls open a narrow drawer that's set into the stone wall, and inside are these crystal rods and folded parchment seals and small brass chimes. And you see that there's these little etchings that the lantern catch on, like fine hair cracks. And she selects a chime. It says, "This will put you beneath the city. Not the markets, not the towers. Somewhere quiet. Somewhere you can breathe. You will be safe at Blackstaff Tower and expected. So wait for Strix. Go nowhere. Do not mistake that for safety." And you see Master Corin steps to the edge of the circle, kneels, sort of adjusting the chalk lines with 2 fingers, and the markings shift subtly and correcting themselves as if the stonework kind of remembers where they're meant to be. And as she works, the air almost tightens. She says, "This circle is keyed to a private annex maintained by the Watchful Order. You will arrive unnoticed, and if that changes, leave immediately." And she looks at Helmirk. "Especially you. Waterdeep tolerates many things. And like here, not devils." And she lifts the brass chime and gives it a single precise ding. And the chalk ignites in this pale blue light, almost like quicksilver. And there's a low hum, and the lantern light kind of dims. And it's almost muffled. You can pick out what she says, and she goes, "Once you've crossed, the circle closes behind you. You will not be able to return without my consent. Strix believes you, believes that you matter. Try to prove him right." She gestures for you all to step into the circle.
Godfrey. Oh, go for it.
Before we go, this area, the animal people had spoken of kind of pause and figure out. Say, you are the Lord's Alliance. That territory.
Your mic is cutting in and out. I want to hear what you're saying so bad.
Man. Why know it?
Oh, no, we just can't hear it.
It's better. It's better.
Yeah.
Got significantly
So-
worse.
It's like I had to change like what my input was, and then I had to turn on noise suppression, so Melanie was constantly
Gotcha.
picking up.
It is working at doing that. I've not heard her.
What kinds of
Yeah,
issues? Fucking Jackson's black and white.
Yeah, I know. He's like black and white.
He keeps fading into
So-
grayscale.
So Helmirk says,
Camera works. It's a 1950s like sitcom.
the animal people, they say the Lord's Alliance is at war. That undead and vampires take a vast territory. We believe no a proponent of this. It is vital that cohort moves stop.
Not that I'm trying to slander them, but druids are a little bit more sensitive about the state of things than we are. I wouldn't say that they're taking over vast territories. Might be a little bit of a fearful stretch. In any case, I'm not sure. I want to follow orders precisely. I would ask Strix that question and see what information he offers to you.
We were led here under the impression that more information would be divulged on these vampires. And since Obius, my hunt has been run dry. And now that I have finally got the whiff of my prey, you tell me to go back to Obius to learn more.
You are not going to Obius. You're going to Waterdeep.
Is Strix there?
Yes. I'm not a fan of repeating myself. I did tell you this.
Forgive me. I am riled up. My mind is in other places.
Helmirk
That's
nods.
okay.
Lucio is raising his hand in the background.
She kind of has a disgusted look on her face.
I was told that I would be reimbursed. Reimbursed for my horses.
Reimbursed.
That were gifted to your druid friends. So we're very
She doesn't break eye contact
nice
with you,
horses.
but she gestures to the rest of the group to the teleportation circle.
Helmirk kind of puts a hand on Lucio's shoulder and he goes, "We will be paid later. Let us move. There are hunts that must be completed. Worry about gold later."
I'm starting to think we won't be paid for this later.
Helmirk is very gently but firmly pushing you towards the circle.
Oh, Lucio, you'll get in the circle. He doesn't like this lady.
All right.
Ready to go.
What's the marching order for
Godfrey,
the circle?
I think,
Godfrey's going to be last to leave.
yeah, I think Helmirk's taking point.
I'll go
Okay,
behind
Helmirk.
Helmirk.
I'm fine being behind Helmirk then.
I'll be
I think
behind
that's the
Jin.
safest option.
Yeah, the people that can
in
see
doubt.
in the dark should go first, probably.
Okay.
And I also know Waterdeep.
Before Godfrey leaves, though, he's gonna take a knee and give her like a high honor courtly bow. He's going to say, just thank you.
She extends her hand to you.
He takes the hand. My lady. And then he stands and he rejoins the cohort.
As the cohort enters the teleportation circle, at the last second, Godfrey, she pulls you back and you watch your friend teleport off, and we're going to take a break right there.
You motherfucker!
All the old ladies in Baldur's Gates are bitches.
Wait till the engagement. God damn.
Oh.
I was
Help
so
me!
hoping you were going to say that you were going to be last. I was so hoping. Oh, man. Y'all ready?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Something like that.
Son of a bitch. You son of a bitch.
It was great knowing you, Godfrey. I look
You
forward
Here's
to
your
your
second
It's
surprise.
for free, man.
Ready for this one?
Oh no.
As the four of you are teleported,
into a volcano.
you hear well, let me back up. You hear an elderly, but before your vision kind of takes in, like you hear an elderly kind of man go, "I'm Handler Voss Terran, Watchful Lord of the Mages and Protectors," and you see this elderly man with sharp gray eyes, kind of neatly kept hair, white hair, and trim beard, um, wearing practical blue and silver robes, almost like an office, kind of carrying himself with a little bit of a quiet authority. Um, and kind of has that like old man friendly kind of smile, as he kind of looks up from a ledger and says, "Your arrival has been logged. While here, I suggest not cast too much attention on yourselves." And as your vision kind of comes to, it's kind of you're surrounded by 6 pillars, that are very tall, very 40, 50 feet up in the air. Where this teleportation circle is located. And for the most part, the room is just bare. You see these kind of large carved by hand brick, like dark soot almost covered bricks that line the walls. And it's very, very simplistic in its purpose. Really, the only thing in this circular room is that desk that the old man is standing behind, and sort of kind of welcomes you to the desk that he's standing at.
Helmirk immediately turns and sees that Godfrey isn't there. And he set a hand on his tail. And he turns towards Boss and goes, "Where is Godfrey? We are missing a cohort member.
Oh,
He was behind us. He was last to leave."
I'm only to report who has arrived. I'm not sure of who has not.
Oh,
They didn't tell you like who was coming.
The cohort of the Aetherwright, correct? That is the group that I'm looking
Well, do you count 8 of
Yes,
us
we
right
have
now?
four.
We are the cohort, but we are missing our fifth.
Yeah, there
Oh,
should be
5 of us.
5 of us in the 8th. That's pretty clear, I feel like.
I apologize for misunderstanding. Well, that is a shame.
This is more
I
than
have
a
something to
shame.
give to you.
This is a crucial member.
Okay, so how do we like go back then real quick and get him?
I'm not permitted to do that. I am so sorry. But I do have something to give you. And he kind of slides some kind of metal thing on a wooden desk and sort of extends it to just kind of the general group.
Helmirk, Helmirk is livid. Goes and he snatches it from him.
Oh, my good man. This will grant you limited movement, and you get a sense he's kind of like reading over a script. This gives you limited movement privileges and access to watchful order facilities. Don't lose it, or you'll have to explain to the guard captain why. They've kind of found you. You have rooms arranged in the trades ward, neutral ground, no questions asked. I believe Strix is upstairs waiting for you in the parlor room.
Helmirk is running. Like, full sprint.
So how many like people do you get teleporting in here like a day normally? Like is it like high traffic? Is this like a rare occurrence? This like you do this regularly?
As needed. Needed.
All right. So
You're
Helmirk
really just not very helpful, are you, huh?
the full sprint.
I find myself to be extremely helpful. I'm not able to give you all the information that you're looking for, young man.
What would your definition of helpful be then, outside of like
Follow orders
helping?
exactly as told.
Helmirk
Nah, that's a
sees
different
that
thing.
the cohort is not
Oops, excuse me. Is
behind
that
him,
bear soup from earlier?
just
really good.
screams, "Cohort, to me now!"
Rabble just like immediately goes.
Yeah.
See, now you've made him angry. Now he's gonna be in a bad mood. You've ruined it for
I
everybody.
am regretful that your friend is upset about a missing member. that
Yeah, do you have like a superior we can report that to? Like, is your thing faulty? What's going on there? Does this normally happen? You get people missing frequently?
welcome to Waterdeep. I believe Strix is waiting for you upstairs.
Man, I want
Oh
to
my
cast
God.
blindness on you so bad.
Can I insight check?
I'll leave.
This is the longest conversation I've ever had with anybody arriving
I
or
can
leaving.
tell, buddy.
I am not prepared for this at all.
You're doing a really bad job at it.
My
Your
name is
I
improv
hope you
skills.
feel
awful.
welcomed to Waterdeep, though. Try the bear soup. The bear soup's great.
I will try that. I appreciate that suggestion.
I will say this. He kind of leans in and he's like, "We're at the peak of fall. This is right when the bears go to hibernate, and right before they hibernate, they eat a bunch of blueberries. Now you come back here, February, when the hibernation, the bears start to wake up. We hunt them for about 6 weeks, and the
Lucio's
meat
intently listening.
is so juicy. It's sweet bear meat. You can taste.
Oh my god.
It
The
fucking like
blueberries.
signals the Helmirk to fucking leave.
See, this is what I'm
So
talking
good.
about.
I think your friends need
I
you.
go outside
we
and
gotta
go,
get
Rick.
you into something you're more passionate about, man. This isn't the industry for you.
We come back
Oh
in
my
February.
Yeah, I'll be back later. We'll finish this. All right, let's see how follows.
My new favorite, I'm going to define it as a kink. My new favorite kink with this group is anytime there's a serious situation laid out, I immediately see Donovan's face go, all right, well, here's what I'm going to say. And here's the
Gotta
thing.
get the info
you
from a guy,
all
you know?
let him. And it's just, it's so chocolatey and round and malt ball. It's just, oh, it's my favorite.
Helmirk's gonna beat you. I just want you to know.
He could have had good info. You don't know.
As you run up the staircase, it
Oh,
opens
okay.
up to a sort of grand parlor that has very high ceilings within the Blackstaff Tower. A room designed not necessarily for comfort, but for control. It's a very wide space, very tall, vaulted ceiling supported by these like dark wooden beams that are etched subtly with what seem to be some kind of sigils. You see tall arched windows that line one wall. The glass is kind of tinted with like the smoke gray. I know you guys are so impatiently wanting to talk to Strix. I feel like more description is needed. I got you guys. I mean, here's what I'm gonna do.
What's like the floor texture
massive
like?
hearth. It's really it's fine. It's very 3,000 grit sandpaper. You would know this very much. You know this comes from your life.
What is Strix
but
wearing as well?
Standing
Like,
near
you
the
know?
hearth is Strix. Who doesn't immediately turn to you, but kind of knows that you're there.
Helmirk is sees Strix, and he gets to like he's still running. He stops at a respectable distance, and he gives gives a salute, and says, "Master Strix, we are missing a member of the cohort."
He kind of slowly turns over and then turns around. 2. We're down 2 now.
Wait,
And we've added 1. I see. Another
Oh.
mechanical? That's interesting.
Helmirk nods and goes, "He is not yet cohort. He is rebel. He is every day earning his place."
Godfrey,
Yes,
when did we lose him?
just now. He failed to teleport with us. He was last.
Oh, that's easier to fix. We'll get that handled. While you all are here, Order of the Hollow Throne. I've reached out to my network, and I've sent eyes to find the symbol that we found in Candlekeep. And it's known. Small, but it's known. It's an order that seeks to separate the gods from us. And they're doing quite well. We've found that churches have converted, paladins charged, priests led propaganda. That name, the Order of the Hollow Throne, carries weight. Enough at least to be recognized. I know very little other than that, and even less about Damar's whereabouts. This seems to be a movement, and it's growing. I'm currently working on more concrete reports about ideology and their structure, but that may take some time. Time, which is our only identified enemy at this moment. I'm assuming you're not going to want to leave without Godfrey being at your side.
No.
No.
Okay. I would request that you stay here. I have some more information that I want to develop to you. I have somewhere I want to send you. Do any of you know of a small area called Crossroads Keep?
Why are we going? No. So Jin immediately tenses. Jin immediately tenses. Why?
Helmirk, like,
It's a little place south of Netherwinter. It's
South of Neverwinter, right in the middle of the crossroads that go from Waterdeep, right dead center in the middle of it.
Yes.
I grew there. Why are we
um,
going?
mostly an abandoned town. Through the information that I got from the Quiet Concord, there are a few towns, Crosskeep being the most recent, that the descriptions that I were given were very similar to Damar's workshop, the ones that you described to me. I'd like to see if you can find some similarities in it. Go look at Crossroads Keep, report back to me. You can use the port key.
Helmirk nods. And he kind of, like, as he sees that Jin tensing, he puts a hand on Jin's shoulder and gives him a salute. And goes, "You will find out what happened, Jin. You have the support of the cohort, and you have me by contract to aid you."
Yes.
Helmirk.
I feel I
looks-
must. What's that?
I was about to say Helmirk looks towards Trix. And he goes, "We have other information as well. Yeah, Godfrey aids us because he is on a hunt for a vampire. I believe he is the one that turned him. There's a vendetta. We believe that a vampire outbreak is happening in Highmore, and it is centered on his home. He has got the sense of this vampire. He refuses to let go. I am bound by contract to aid."
Why exactly is Godfrey not with you?
We do not know. He
You're-
was behind us. He had just taken.
He's with Master Corin.
Yes, he was to enter last.
We must return to him. And there's an urgency with him, and he starts leading you down the stairs. That is 100% where we're going to end tonight's session.
It's only 10:30, dude. We have an hour and a half.
I know this is gonna take some time, and I know that we're stretching it thin. I know some events have turned. There's some things that have turned, things that have happened.
Oh, no, this is good. This is great.
Surely Godfrey will be okay.
Oh, God.